What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another F1 Fridays reaction video. Today we're checking out why don't F1 cars have a handbrake. Let's get into it. Shout out to WTF1 once again. You know, reacted to so many videos
Why
of his.
don't F1 cars have a handbrake?
This one's a newer one.
There was quite a sketchy moment at the Austrian Grand Prix involving Carlos Sainz's car, where his Ferrari, which was up in flames at the time,
So this was definitely one I never
rolling
even thought
back
about.
down the hill at turn 4. It then raised quite a few questions around why the car was allowed to roll back and whether F1 cars do indeed have a handbrake. Well, the answer is they don't, and there's reasons why. Formula 1 is about a team making their car as fast as they possibly can, both over one lap and then a race distance.
Let me guess, extra weight.
One key ingredient to making your car fast is weight. This
There we
means
go.
that teams will strip back on things like
It's crazy though how serious they take that.
have in their car, like
As
a
light as
fully
possible.
functioning
Surprised they even have
reverse gear,
stickers
which is really easy
or
to
paint.
select. It's actually a very fragile piece of equipment that isn't really meant to be used, hence why it takes an F1 driver so long to find reverse gear. Another being teams changing their paint scheme from glossy to matte in order to save a few grams of weight. And of course, what we're talking about in this video, not
even
having
surprised.
a handbrake. Now, you may have been confused if you heard the team radio of Sergio Perez in Miami, where he was told to use the handbrake at turn 11. We aren't telling you lies here, don't worry. In fact, teams use all
Best move of all time,
shorter
revenge
terms to
assist.
describe something a lot more complex in the car. So in fact, what this probably meant to Sergio is to run some sort of extreme brake bias to aid him getting turned into the tight left-hander. Going back to the Carlos Sainz incident, obviously it was pretty concerning when he started rolling back down the hill when trying to exit his Ferrari that was on fire. But generally speaking, F1 cars don't need a handbrake. In that situation, it was more the fact that marshals weren't particularly prepared. For whatever reason, it looked as though a wedge wasn't brought out immediately to stop the car rolling back, and one of the marshals even put a fire extinguisher down and then ran in the opposite direction. However, since this, there's been a person on Reddit claiming to be an Austrian GP track marshal who said there was something placed under the tyre to stop it and the car rolled
I don't know, I
over
shouldn't be
it.
trusting Reddit
The
too
marshal
much.
who came with the fire extinguisher got the order through the radio to get the car with the big extinguisher. Whatever the reasoning, it was still a bit of a mess really, wasn't it? They are literally situated at a place where this is a hill. It shouldn't exactly be a surprise that the car starts to roll back down. Of course, there will without a doubt be an investigation into what went down, and I don't want to go in too hard on the marshals because they are the reason we can go racing. Usually unpaid volunteers who purely do it because of their love for the sport. Definitely need to make sure nothing like that happens again though. Carlos Sainz also gave his thoughts after the race. He said, "As soon as I tried to jump out, I saw that the car was rolling backwards, and I didn't want to leave the car completely free, out of control, rolling backwards while jumping out. I was calling the marshals to come and help me to put something on the tyres to stop the car rolling down, but I think the whole process was a bit slow." So no, there is no handbrake, and usually no reason for an F1
Maybe it doesn't
car to
happen, but
stop
still,
on any sort
volunteers,
of incline anyway.
even though
If they
they're
do, they
volunteering,
have
not
the
getting paid
ability
for
to
it.
stay in gear to ensure they
Can't blame them, it happens
backwards.
once, it's not a
Of
big
course,
deal.
if your car is on fire, you're probably going to want to get out of the car immediately and expect the marshals to sort out that particular problem. The closest an F1 car can get to having a handbrake is something similar to what I mentioned with Sergio Perez. Changing settings in the car to lock the rear differential to allow for quicker turn-in. This would usually be implemented if a driver is suffering from chronic understeer. However, if you go down this road,
Not
the
sure what
driver
that
will
is.
then suffer from random snaps of oversteer and loss of traction out of corners. It's all a balancing act, but no, they are not grabbing a big old handbrake stick and kicking the rear end out. There you have it, why F1 cars do not have a handbrake.
Interesting video.
What did you
Never,
make
of course,
the whole
thought about
Carlos
that, but
Sainz fire
of course,
situation? Let us know
everything
in
has
the
to do with
comment
the
section
weight.
below.
Very interesting video though, like I said, of course it has to do with weight. I knew it kind of, like, once I was getting into the video, I was like, probably because of weight, and then a couple seconds later they mentioned the weight. Then I talk about the paint weight, you know, they change it from, I guess, what is it, glossy to matte or something like that, I don't even know, or other way around. But interesting video. Love reacting to these because you never think about stuff like that. Maybe you do, but I never thought about a handbrake. I of course thought about like other videos you're actually like brake lights. I did think about that, but something like this though, I never thought about that for, I don't know, never thought about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys did, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, help me get to 7,000 subscribers. It will be greatly appreciated. I'm out, guys. Peace.